Bears are who we thought they were.
The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain.
The Bears are who we thought they were. The Bears are who we.
Okay, enough. You win.
I don't want to hear that damn horn.
Yeah.
As we talk overreaction Monday again.
Yeah.
We got people on X saying the Vikings are going to the Super Bowl in week 2.
Yeah.
It's like, pump the brakes.
Yeah. Well, but what about Detroit? That Mr. whatever his name is in for not a good year. Dan Campbell lost his team the game. And one of the people on here during the Lions preview said that Dan Campbell will be on the hot seat by week 8. Is he on the hot seat today, Nolan? You were the one that said that. I'm just wondering. He makes some boneheaded calls.
Yeah,
you know?
he does. He should be, but I think him and the organization, this is a place where Detroit has never been. So I don't think at this point do they hit the panic button and say, Dan, you're out. We're going to bring in a Shanahan or a Harbaugh to put us over the hump. I don't think that happens, but yeah, I think Dan Campbell should be on the hot seat. I know he came out and all these people like, hey, he was man enough to admit it. Well, it doesn't matter if he admits it.
Yeah.
I mean, we all saw it. So
yeah. So I was just John on X last night because I was kind of bored, and I just said we're gonna see. Unfortunately, we're gonna see a lot more of these mistakes coming forward. And the guy that I put, it was a procedural. We'll get it fixed. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. Happy they lost. Bears played a okay game. Defense kept them in it again as well. I didn't watch the whole thing. We were talking pre-game here. Their offensive line just doesn't look good.
It's horrible. I mean, when you can't even get your run game going, I mean, we're back to crappy play calling. We're back to everybody's all over him. He's overthrowing receivers. Well, yeah, when you're running for your life, you're going to overthrow receivers. Yeah. I mean, this isn't college anymore. It's not like he's running away from a guy that's same age, but he's got guys that are bigger, stronger, probably faster.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it again, you said it, you're not panicked yet. I wouldn't. It's going to take them a while to get rolling. And
I had the Bears at 1-1. Houston Texans are a top 4 team in the NFL.
Top 4 team?
Defensively, they're pretty stout. Offensively, they've got some weapons. If Mixon stays healthy, they've got Diggs. They've got
Nico Collins. Yeah. I would agree with you there.
Tight end.
Yeah.
So for us to have the ball with a minute and a half to go and a chance to win, I was happy with it. And I thought, you know what? We had a chance to win there. If we'd have went down and scored, there'd still be people out there going, "Oh, Bears suck. Bears suck. Bears should." You know what? When you play the top teams, when you play the top teams, I mean, you look at the Vikings.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Vikings. I didn't think, was Minnesota that good, or did San Francisco just come to Minneapolis once again, back-to-back years, and crap the bed?
Well,
you know,
the Niners haven't beat Minnesota in like 10 years or 10 games.
Yeah. So there's history there. You don't have McCaffrey.
Okay.
Brock Purdy. I told you I was sold on him. He's a game manager. He threw over 300 yards. He did his job.
Yeah.
But the defense.
In trying to come back, so that's why he threw for 300 yards. I mean, he had to throw. Yep. They were. I watched the game after I already knew they won because I just wanted to see some plays. I was out busy, cleaning up some toilet paper, all that sort of stuff.
And we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. Okay, we certainly can. What was I think Shanahan lost that game for him. I mean, their backup running back was cutting through our line easily. you know, and then what was it, 4th and goal, and they try to throw a pass, and it's like, man, your guy was chunking 5-6 yards a carry, and then all of a sudden you decide to throw. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. And then I'm on the Brian Flores defense. I think people are so against him that it's going to make them better.
Well, Brock Purdy said that at middle of the field. What did he say? Your scheme is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
what
if
they're
you
doing,
can, yep, it's just.
But I don't know. Do you take that 97-yarder out of the equation? Do they still win the football game? Maybe the Vikings.
I think they do. You're going into something.
But that was a game changer.
Yeah, well, yeah, 14-point swing there. You know, it should have been 7 points.
But that's a 5% play.
Yeah,
those plays don't happen. 97-yarders don't happen very often.
Right. San Fran, one of the top defenses in the league. You know, I mean, I don't know. Jefferson just got behind him. We talked about the referee speed as he did as he ran the 40 in about 4 seconds. Holy cow!
Yeah, he was on a roll, man.
Thought maybe he was going to come up and tackle JJ before he got into the end zone.
And then you didn't see it, but there was I don't know what game it was. There was a guy that was holding the sticks. Swore he blew his ACL or something up, but they didn't talk about it. But then last night there had been a guy. I mean, he looked Joe Biden-ish type of holding the down marker, and he stepped on the 20-yard marker behind him.
Yep.
And just ass over tea kettle, just boom.
Oh, did he?
We had to take a commercial. He got carted off. And I'm sitting here going, why are we putting 75-year-olds down to where they got to get out of the way when there's two 25-year-olds sprinting at him at full speed?
Yeah. So I remember this from God, I think I was he's a year older. So I would have been a junior. And we had the guys, we were at I want to say we were in Austin. And our running back, Jason, he came around the corner and he was going to get nailed by the defense. And he was going to, the chain guys are supposed to drop it and run. Well, this guy freaking him just kind of like held it as tight as he could and put his leg up against it. And the guy, and it just freaking bent the whole thing.
Oh, jeez.
And I remember our assistant coach, Dale Owens was his name. He just, you got to drop that. I mean, Jason wasn't hurt, but I mean, he just reinforced himself. Yeah, he was ready for the hit. It's like, you got to drop that and run.
You drop it and run when they're like 10 yards away.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, jeepers. That's crazy. But he bent the crap out of it, so they had to go get another chain and all that stuff.
Nice.
That was pretty funny, but man, our coach was fired up. So, all right. So what do you want? Where do you want to go? Which way you want to head today?
We went on the previews. Let's talk about that real quickly because
I
got Green Bay 1-1. That's where I had them. I have the Vikings. I had them 1-1. They're 2-0. I have the Bears at 1-1. I was right there. I had Detroit at 2-0 at this point, and they were 6-11. So where does that put us? They're going to the Cardinals, who we thought, that'll be an easy win.
Yeah.
The way the Cardinals played this last weekend. I don't know.
Well, is it that? I don't know where my
you went.
You got mine. So I got after 2 weeks, I had Green Bay 1-1, and I'm correct.
Yep.
I had the Lions as 1-2 or 1-1. So I'm correct.
I had them losing.
I had them losing to the Bucks. Yep. The Bears I had 0-2. The Vikings I had 1-1.
Things are shaping up here after week 2.
We kind of know what we're talking about, so let's we'll keep those going. I gotta just remember where I keep putting these because I don't want my dog to eat them. The dog ate my homework, and then the guy in Springfield ate my dog. So
there you go.
We're not gonna go down that route.
Oh boy, let's get to this.
Okay.
Record dominated with a little bit of money this weekend. Got a lot of picks right. So the money.
We were talking before we went on here. I thought, God, I was kind of leery of these picks to begin with. And I told you if it was like for legit real money, I never would have won this much so far. I would have
Yeah.
lost. I would have lost it all. But you know,
The rest of the picks, you got 4 right. I got 5.
okay.
And we got Jacksonville, Baltimore, Dallas, Jets, and the Rams wrong.
Oof.
And you got Denver wrong.
Got Denver wrong.
I picked Pittsburgh over Denver.
Yeah. I should have done that too, but I was kind of hoping, 2 rookie quarterbacks coming out at it. Or no. Never mind. I was thinking they played the the Commanders. But the Commanders beat the Giants. So
yeah. Let's if you want to look at something funny, let's do it real quickly. 21-18 was the score. Jaden Daniels, they said, he was the player of the game. He ended up being 23 of 29, 226 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 10 carries, 44 yards. So he had a decent day. 226, yep. Daniel Jones continues to – he had 2 touchdowns, but I don't know how long he's going to – I don't know.
Yeah. And then what about let's talk the Ravens, man. I'm are you concerned of them or not? Or you think they'll get it turned around? So they're 0-2. They lost to the Raiders at home. I don't understand. You go get Derrick Henry, probably one of the best running backs in the league still, you think?
Yeah,
he's chopping up 4 or 5 yards a carry. Even the Raiders were stacking the box and he was still getting 4 to 5 yards a carry. And I just don't get how coaches want to pass like that. I don't know. It's silly.
Because they're trying to prove the media and the naysayers that they can pass. It just feels like when a team can't do something, they really focus, hey, we're going to do this.
Okay.
And it's just like, just do it both. Do 50-50.
Yeah, you're trying to win the game and you're 10 points ahead. Run the freaking ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what chews up the clock?
That is
when you run the ball
football right there.
Yeah.
Now, Chad and I sitting on the couch watching the game, we're pissed because we want to see some action. But if I'm a head coach, I don't care. You know what? I'm going to hand the ball off and I'm going to take till there's 3 seconds on every play clock.
Yeah, well, and for my team, if the Vikings are up by 10, I want them to run the ball every play. And I don't care if it's exciting or not, if they're winning, chew up the clock. Got to chew up. That's what the Vikings did yesterday. They freaking had a 6-minute, 38-second drive in the fourth quarter and then kicked the field goal and just boom,
Game over.
It was. You don't leave them with time. You can't leave teams with time because they're all good enough to do that. So, did you forget to set up an hour?
I did. But we're all right.
We're dead air dicks. It's not.
Oh no, there's still something on.
Okay, gotcha.
Just not what I wanted.
No, I hear you. So the hymn of the day.
No, we already did that. There's our money situation. I still have the Philadelphia game going tonight, so I still can
pick up $400.
Pick $400 tonight. Yeah.
There you go.
But
and you picked the Philly. Yeah, you picked Philly, right? And
I got
over
Philly points and under.
Oh, you went under. Okay.
I went under. I don't usually go under, so
yeah, that's strange.
I took the Chicago under, which was strange for me, but
2 pretty good dang defenses right there. So
I took Buffalo under too. Now, when I'm spending real money, I always go over.
Do you?
And do you see how many games went over yesterday?
Quite a few.
Probably. No, I don't think so.
Oh, wasn't there? No, you're right.
Not yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, the ones I bet on all went under. So doesn't matter.
So your real money this week, you didn't win much either, did you?
No, I had 6 parlays going, and they all shit the bed.
So does that mean it's time to maybe not bet or?
When you're an addict, how do you do that?
Well, there you go.
I mean, what the hell?
Do you know the score of the volleyball game last?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So it looks like you got NFL top 6 right here. So this week we're going to start our power rankings. Maybe do the bottom 6 next week after 3 weeks. We'll see how we're going. But I'll go ahead and start. Number 1, They're the
We go
champions.
6.
Huh?
We go 6 on up, don't we?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. We could do that. So I pulled a Nolan Dix here. I couldn't choose between these two teams. They've both got pretty good wins. I got the Saints and the Bucks at number 6.
I got the Saints at 6.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have the Bucks at 5.
You have the Bucks at 5. All
I have
right.
the Bucks at 5. Yep.
So my number 5, I have my Minnesota Vikings because they've played.
You can't bump them up that far. Come on.
They played a pretty dang good team yesterday and took care of business. So I'm going to put them at number 5. That could change next week.
Oh, it will change because no, I'm just kidding.
They could go higher. They could go lower.
Yep.
So it will change. If they win, they go higher. But if they lose, they might still be in. They might be out. So my number 4, and I told you this team's going to be sneaky. It's the Chargers, man. They're real, Nolan. And you've said a couple things, and so far they've been true. Dan Campbell's going to screw up for the Lions. It happened yesterday. And that the Chargers will go as J.K. Dobbins will go. And he had a huge day yesterday, and they won. Obviously, they beat like the worst team in the league, and Bryce Young shouldn't be quarterback anymore. But they're playing good ball, and I believe in Jim Harbaugh. I know I gave you crap about him, but I think
there is one thing that happened last night. There is going to be an investigation because they saw Jim Harbaugh watching game film on Carolina last week. So we're not sure if he was stealing signs or if he was just watching video.
So
maybe he was scouting. I don't know.
He might have been, I think his son, Harry Harbaugh, was spotted at their opponents next week on the opponent's sideline.
I think he was.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. So, Justin Herbert, good quarterback, got hurt, still played. We'll see where he's at. Justin Jefferson got hurt. He says he'll be back next week. A contusion on the quad. So, who do you got number 4 there, my man? Who's your number 4?
My number 4 is team that's playing tonight will be Philadelphia.
Yeah, I
got Philly at 4. They're I know people were worried about them, but I think they're going to be just fine. They got Barkley, man. I mean, that was the piece they needed. And all you have to do is hand the ball off and
I didn't put them in my rankings this week because of the games that were yesterday. So, but they should be there. My number 3, I put the Texans. I think they're up there. I think they've played some pretty good games. I think they're a tough team. They got a good defense. They got a coach that they love to play for. He's looking, buddy. He needs that score. So number 3, Houston Texans.
Houston Texans. All right. My 3 is Buffalo.
Okay.
Buffalo looked good. Took care of business on Thursday night. I mean,
I got the Bills number 2. Everyone thought that they were going to have a down year, but they put the hurt on the Dolphins. So I got them at number 2.
Well, and I got Houston at 2.
Okay, so we're kind of back and forth.
Yeah, and then of course I heard your start of your number 1.
So
one thing about the Kansas City Chiefs is I didn't watch the whole game, but every time you flip on, you got pictures of Mahomes standing next to one of the officials taking a picture. One of those, all of them are doctored up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it was pass interference at the end of the game. I mean, and if you think it wasn't, you're just a fair weather fan that doesn't know the rules. The guy got in early. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, reading the X, even a lot of the Bengals fans said, "Hey, this guy was clearly pass interference," and so I'm just the Bengals. They're kind of what is the obsession of NFL writers trying to break these stories that Chase isn't going to sign a deal now because they, and they just go all over the place with it, man. And
and I thought we wouldn't see him playing yesterday, and it was like, he was out there making catch. I'm like, okay, so
no,
he turned down a pretty good contract.
He did, and so whatever Schefter is reporting that it isn't true. I mean, he turned down a freaking huge contract. And if he's saying that they lied to him, well, I don't think they did. They offered a contract, what, 40 million?
Yeah.
Close to 40 million a year. I don't remember what, but everybody, and then like his stories just get reposted and people get all fired up, and it's like, just play the game.
So do you think Jamar Chase wants to be in Cincinnati?
With Joe Burrow, yeah, I do.
Or would he rather be in Minnesota with?
I don't think he wants. He doesn't want to be with. Would you want to be with a guy that's better than you? Well, me and you, yeah, because we suck.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
I don't know. Jamar Chase thinks he's better than Jefferson. He wants more money.
Could be. I go out and prove it. I mean, I don't know. Why even sign contracts then if you're gonna be that way? To me, it just
to me that's the same thing. All these contracts getting signed, and like I said, they got 2 years left on the contract, and they want to renegotiate. And as a owner, I'm like, no, you signed your contract,
right? So like if he had, so let's just say he had a killer year this year, and he's got 1 year left on his rookie deal, then yeah, you re-sign him. Yep. But 2 years, I'd take him. I'd take him on the team. You'd want him on the Bears, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I mean, there's
DJ Moore would like a little bit of help.
yeah.
He had the. I seen one guy on X. I mean, totally read my mind out. Just the body language was horrible
from him.
Oh, it's horrible. There's a pass that was underthrown, and he'd throw his hands up in the air, and he'd walk to the sidelines. And one that was overthrown, he'd walked to the sideline. He said something to Bajent on the sidelines as he walked by, and couldn't read lips. But of course, somebody came out. This is what he said, and I'm like, what he looked like. What he said was, "Dog, I need you."
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So,
do you think that's what was said?
If you remember to last year, when Justin Fields
went down, yeah.
When he was, they weren't sure if they were going to keep him or not.
Yeah.
DJ Moore came out and said there's 2 guys coming out of college that aren't better than Justin Fields. Exact words.
Yeah. And who were they? Did he say who they were?
Well, it would have been Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
So he said Fields is better than both of those guys. But was he saying that because, hey, that's my teammate? If he sticks around, I'm in good standing. If he leaves, I tell the new guy, hey, I was just doing it because,
he's my teammate. So who's a better quarterback today, Justin Fields or Caleb Williams?
No idea.
Okay. Justin Fields or Jalen Daniels?
Fields is 2-0, right? Fields 2-0.
Yep.
Daniels is 1-1. Caleb is 1-1.
Yep.
I think if you look at the stats, it's hard to say, man. I mean,
what did you tell me last week?
Yeah, W's. I mean,
a win is a win.
A win is a win, and if we had won last night with his 2 interceptions, people would have been butchering him. But the real fans would have went, "Hey, wins a win." Last week was a prime example. We looked horrible.
Yeah,
wins a win.
And
I'm not a Viking fan.
Yep.
But in the back of my mind, you guys beating San Francisco, wins a win.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if it's an upset. I don't care if it was a fluke flag by an official or anything like that.
Right.
You walk off the field to win.
This is how I look at what DJ Moore said last year. If I'm reading you right, he was sticking up for him. So Justin Fields is a better quarterback than those 2 right now.
Right.
Because of the
experience.
He's played. And to me, experience is huge.
Oh, yeah.
I told you I like Caleb Williams. I think he's going to do well for the Bears. I told you he's going to struggle. I think he's got 2 more. I don't want to call them clunkers because you'll get mad at me, but I think he's got 2 more games to kind of get himself rolling,
And that's the Colts and the Rams.
Yeah.
Very winnable ball games.
Yeah, they are. So, hey, I just saw that my buddy Aaron here is watching us. He gave us the like on Facebook, and something is very, very important happened today 50 plus years ago. So it's Dr. Williams's birthday. Dr. Williams's birthday today. So we'll have to say happy birthday to him.
Yeah, happy birthday. We'd sing it, but we don't want to lose
one
listener.
Yeah, you don't want us to sing. And they might say you copyrighted something and then they kick us off everything. Yeah. And we don't need that.
Yeah, when we sound like Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah. Sing us the song. That's Piano Man. Never mind. Candyman. Yeah, one of those things.
Candyman. There we go.
Candyman. So who can take a rainbow? Yeah.
Game tonight.
Game tonight. I'm excited to see how Cousins fails again, and when the cries for Penix are coming out.
Well, we knew it was going to happen. Cousins can come out and throw 380 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they lose. He's still going to be worst quarterback ever. Yeah. I seen a post yesterday. Sam Darnold. I would take Sam Darnold over Cousins any day. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. No, you would not take Cousins over Sam Darnold.
Yeah. So that's a homer view right now because they're winning. And people are still mad at Kirk Cousins, and I'm like, who cares? Yeah. It's a business. It's a business, You go where you. And then now it kind of sounds like, from all the things you've read, that Cousins is regretting his decision because they drafted a quarterback in Atlanta. No, they didn't tell me. Well, they don't have to.
Well, if he'd have stayed in Minnesota, they would have probably drafted McCarthy too, because
I think they would have.
He's 35.
Well, they told it, and they were legit and transparent and said,
that's why he left.
Yeah, we are going to draft a quarterback for the future. You're our guy.
What's the owner in Atlanta? What's his name?
Arthur Blank.
Yeah, he's shady looking dude.
Well,
I don't know if I trust him.
So here's the thing. Arthur Blank created Home Depot. So I don't know what.
And I don't trust Home Depot either.
You don't? Okay.
No, unless they're going to be a sponsor on our podcast, and I'll talk about it.
I don't know, buddy. I'm just saying.
No.
But it's unless you have ownership in the team, I don't have to tell you shite, do I?
No.
Right? I mean,
no.
Hey, and I don't think it was Blank.
Nice if they would.
I don't think it was even Blank's fault. It's probably the general manager and the coach.
Now, if Kirk Cousins is Michael Jordan, hey, I'll tell you all day. Hey, we're going to get a new coach.
Well, yeah.
But
Cousins hasn't won anything to be mentioned in the name of that.
Well, yeah, no.
How do you think? And we've never talked about it. How do you think that Brady Belichick meeting went when they just said, "Hey, it's time to move on"? Do you think it was pretty legit, or do you think it was
probably?
You think so? I would think so.
I looked at the roast. It was kind of. I think they kind of settled their things, but I never brought it up last week or 2 weeks ago when Belichick was critiquing Caleb Williams' preseason game.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you haven't done squat since Tom Brady left. So he rode the coattails on Tom Brady. That's my thoughts on it. Belichick probably is a decent coach.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady brought him his legacy, because once he left, what did New England do?
No, they made the playoffs a couple of times, but that team had been great forever. And teams fall, I don't know. Didn't they make the playoffs with Mac Jones his first year? I thought they did.
No,
not 100%.
No, I don't think so.
Mac Jones had a good rookie season, but I don't.
No, he didn't, because I had him on my fantasy football league and he was horrible.
Well, if you're talking fantasy football, that's a different world. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. So he wants to get back into coaching. The Bears fire Eberflus. Do you want him? No. Yes. No.
Hard to say.
Yeah. You're not worried about that quite yet?
No. We'll see, though. Last night he just didn't seem like he had the urgency. But do you want a coach that's looking like he has the urgency? He never went. And of course, they don't show everything on the sidelines.
Right.
But did he walk over to Caleb Williams and grab him by the face mask, or the lineman? Did he walk over to the lineman and say, "Your asses are on the line this game. If he gets killed, you're all 5 gone tomorrow"?
Well, we hope. one would hope he would have. I don't think he would do it on national TV, but I think he would do it in the locker room, wouldn't he? Or he would make his position coach.
Well, I would think so.
So what is it? Is it just their scheme, or are they just not talented enough? Your offensive line.
I think it's I just don't. I think it's either a too complex of a scheme, because I watch games where guys are getting open all the time. Yep. Quarterbacks are hitting, but they have time in the pocket. Caleb Williams didn't have any time.
Right.
He dropped back, he set, and all of a sudden Will Anderson came off the edge 5 times. I counted 5 times at least that he didn't even get touched. Last drive of the game, Will Anderson freaking plowed him from the blind side. Just like, how do you not protect his blind side when you're trying to throw 25-yard passes?
Right. So, and now this is where I'll jump to it's a little too fast for Caleb right now. He knows it's coming, right? I mean, if you're getting harassed from that end the whole game, don't you know you need to take a step forward, or I don't know.
I think you continue to trust your line to a certain point.
Well,
because if you miss a block once and I get my skull rocked, I'm like, and you're like, hey, I got you, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I drop back again. I got confidence, and all of a sudden, for the 5th time, you nail me. It's like, okay, Chad, I'm done with you, buddy.
Yeah. So did Caleb do that? Did Caleb get up and say, what the hell's going on? Or
there was times where he barely got up. He got hit so freaking hard.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he got beat up last night. He is
sore
today.
So that is where they go back to the experts will say you should never start a rookie quarterback.
They got
to
all the other, look at Nix, you look at,
he did have a very good game.
Daniels. No, look at Daniels.
Daniels played the Giants. I mean, come on.
But the Bears are there right now to win. Will Bagent get them wins? Possibly.
Would Bagent made a difference in last night's game?
Probably last night's game, yeah. Okay. But I think he still would have been running for his life.
Right. Yeah, I just think as more games played, Caleb's going to get better. He's going to be fine. Bears are going to be fine. We could do the Aaron Rodgers RELAX. We could do whatever you wanted to, but you'll never be able to anytime soon. Just telling you.
Yeah, I know.
So
if you put our one thing there, what's the most annoying sound ever?
Yeah.
Play the horn. It fits.
The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain.
The Bears are who we thought they were.
There you go.
And the Bears are going to be fine.
The Bears are going to be fine. Speaking of,
we're still in rebuild mode.
Okay. Competitive rebuild mode, right?
Rebuild mode. Yeah.
Isn't that's the new? We're in competitive rebuild mode.
We didn't have Keenan Allen last night. Keenan Allen's going to be a big part of that offense.
Yep. Rome was out too, right?
No, Rome played. He dropped a touchdown, but it was a tough throw.
Gotcha.
He got hit, and so didn't hang on.
So speaking of being okay, we had a little incident at the Decker household on Saturday, and you're excited about it.
I am. I'm excited about it because I sent you a text, you didn't respond or something like that, and then you sent me a text, told me what was going on, so I called you right away. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I guess you could start the story, kind of explain it, and we'll you could see our little never got caught TP in a house. I got caught TP and soaping windows. So
soaping. Oh, that's not good. So yesterday, I'm just kind of getting ready for the Vikings game. I'm gonna kind of sit down, probably watch it, and all of a sudden I get a phone call from somebody. I'm like, why would they be calling me? I'm like, And so I went to swipe it. I couldn't get it to swipe. Went to voicemail. I know you say I always send people to voicemail, but I don't. I found out I need a new phone is what I found out because I've got an older phone, so I got to go get one.
Yep.
Left me a message and said, hey, just to let you know, my neighbor called and said that the girls' soccer team toilet papered the house. And it was the wrong house. It was supposed to be for one of the boys' soccer player, but he lived next door. Or he gave somebody the wrong address or something. I don't know. But so that
is a funny part of the story.
Yeah. So then this guy, he's all upset, and these girls need to come clean it up. And so there was a bunch of people went to clean it up, and it just, I don't know, toilet paper, man. It's
You took a picture and sent it. And
yeah, and they did a really
was like, wow,
they did a nice
good job.
Yeah,
but you don't leave your mark.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, you don't autograph it and leave.
Yeah, they did leave there.
The next day, you just drive by while they're cleaning it up and just smirk.
Woo! Because leaving what it said is they put GS for girls soccer, and so that's how they got caught.
Yeah.
And so Lily's like,
thankfully,
man.
George Sanford didn't get in trouble.
Yeah. Lily's like, man, you know everybody. And I said, Lily, there's not much you can get away with without me finding out. Yeah. Somebody's going to know somebody that knows somebody, and I'll find out about it. So, but I did tell Becky.
You did good.
Yeah.
I was hoping you weren't losing sleep last night.
Yeah.
But I did tell you to give her a high five.
Yeah. I mean, she's sick now. She's got the freaking 101 temp.
Well, that's from too much TP.
Well, I'm think one of the girls on the team was sick, and she played, and I just think that it's kind of going through their team right now.
Oh, okay.
Rather have it happen now instead of 2 weeks when the sections start, and they're in a pretty good spot right now. So, funny thing is, adding on to more of this story, one of the principals at Mayo High School, where she goes, has a son that plays soccer, and guess what happened to their house? It got toilet paper, and she said she thought it was funny, so maybe we could have just, but if you're gonna toilet paper, I told her to say.
So was that the same team, just different girls went over to that other guy's place or not?
No, I think they did. I think the two players that I know of for the boys are both seniors, so I think they did all the senior houses is what they did. Okay. We got homecoming coming up and all that stuff, so I think it was just kind of one of those, kind of a fun team building, activity. Yeah, I mean, I told the guy they're not out freaking doing drugs. They're not out breaking stuff. Exactly. They're not soaping your windows. Soaping windows, I might have been a little bit more upset because once you start spraying that stuff off with the water, it could get onto your siding and make it a different color and all that stuff.
And usually when you soap, it's like in October when it's cold and
that's just not a good look. So
getting TP'd is not the same as getting egged or soaped.
Correct. And harmless fun. I just told Lily, I said, hey, I'm not mad. Just make sure next time you get the right house. Yeah. You gotta know.
And to me, if I ever got TP'd, it's like, I hope I find out who it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like, could be worse.
Yeah.
Now, if you're soaped or you're egged, that's a whole different story.
Soaped or egged or somebody puts a for sale sign in your yard. We might have done that growing up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we can't let too much out of the bag.
Well, no. I've told them the dumb things I've done. I mean, but back then people just kind of chuckled about it,
Now there's lawsuits over it.
Yeah. Well, it's TPing is considered vandalism. I'm like, come on, man. You guys got way too much time
just
on
your
hands.
Hey, dude, let one rain come through. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll have a little wet toilet paper hanging for a little bit. But it dissolves. I mean, it's okay.
So Becky and I were talking last night, and I'm like, okay, so if we got toilet paper, we got one tree in our yard, and then we got the woods behind us, which isn't our property. It's just like state property.
It'd be funny if they TP'd that. You just sit and look at it.
And just be like, all right. But the one tree we do have, it's a huge, huge maple, and I would hate for that to happen, but I think it's so. I don't know. I'm glad they went out. I'm glad they did it. I think they had a good time. That's what growing up is about. It wasn't like they were smashing windows or stealing crap out of cars or soaping the window on cars. Don't do that either. I mean, that's not good. So there's that. But yeah. All right. What else you got, my friend? I don't want to talk baseball because I'm still mad at the Twins. So we'll talk a little bit Friday.
Still in the wild card, they'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. No, they won't.
But
what's making it to the playoffs? You got to do something. when you're in the playoffs, man. Playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Playoffs?
And if you talk about playoffs, you're going to end up playing the Yankees in the first round, it looks like, because you're the lower wild card, aren't the Yankees #1 seed?
Correct.
So that's not a good, I don't know.
Yeah, no, don't you play that one game first?
Oh,
Like
wild card, yeah.
You play that team to get to this team, and so I don't know how it goes. No one. They're only 2.5 behind KC. What is there, like 2 weeks left in the season? So there's a chance for them to kind of. It's just their bullpen has fallen on hard times, and so that sucks. And your Dodgers are doing okay, right?
Yeah, we'll get into the playoffs. They got back-to-back homers last night. Beat the Braves.
Yeah,
9-2. So
how's Kershaw? Is he pitching still, or is he?
No, I think he's out. Yeah.
Is he? He's out again.
I think he's out again.
They said I heard earlier last week that they're thinking about Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch in the playoffs. What do you think of that?
Oh,
you didn't hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
They were thinking about it, and people are saying you can't do that to him. He hasn't pitched in a year and a half, and blah blah blah. I'm like,
or has he?
Well, we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know. But I mean, there's a difference between a bullpen session and a live game. But you do what you got to do to win the game.
Shohei, man,
it's all about this, right?
Right.
Especially in the playoffs. If you get one of these in the playoffs, you can't get more of these, you know. Yeah. So there you go. Right. There you go. So, all right, my man. Well, let's. Should we call her quits today?
We can. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a little work I got to do here. You got a little work you got to do, and so.
I've had like 7 phone calls. Nobody ever calls me
until you get on the podcast.
When I get on here, I've had 7 missed phone calls. So.
Well, you better.
I guess I got a busy day ahead of me.
Right on, brother.